Hey Gearfacts friends, welcome back. I'm having an interesting time this morning with the Line 6 Bass Pod XT Live. Obviously it's the bass version of the Pod XT Live, which I absolutely love. The Bass Pod, however, I'm having a little bit more trouble with. It seems to be a very temperamental kind of device. So anyway, let's fade in the volume. And this is 1A classic rock. Can't think of what to play. Let's see. Okay, a very unimaginative bass line there, but good for the purpose of demonstrating this pedal. You'll find as you go through, or at least I found when I went through using my cheap bass guitar here, that volume and noise seems to just jump all over the place. And I found the best way to route this into my amp is to use the headphone socket and go through the stereo auxiliary in. Of course, every setup is going to be different, but the point I'm making is it's pretty temperamental. You do have to sort of tune it into your bass and get them to talk to each other and to like each other. Let's move on to the next patch. Slap happy. Well, I'm never slap happy, but let's give it a go. Okay, sounds alright. Okay, string theory. This is where we get into the more crazy synthy sort of stuff. Okay, so a pretty fierce sound there, and there are quite a few very experimental, pretty extreme, synthesized or extremely fuzzed sorts of sounds. Lead sounds, I guess you'd call them, which is of course dangerous ground for a bass player to tread on. But of course there's plenty of conservative stuff too. This is R&B standard. Am I a bit out of tune there? Yes. Anyway, next patch. For the love of money. Bit of a flanged one there. Next one's California. See, that one's got nice depth. I like that. Still a bit more noise than I'd like to see creeping through into the amp. So let's try a few quick edits. The system's exactly the same as the Pod XT for standard guitar, so if you want a tutorial, check that one out. But what I want to do right now is go through and search for noise reduction. And here we go, let's change that threshold. Okay, now we're much cleaner. How much has that cleaned that up? Beautiful. Excellent. It's got a beautiful ring to it as it rubs across the fret. Obviously you can hear the noise when the note's playing, but in between notes it's very tight. Let's cycle through our effects again. Okay, stomp box. Let's try some models. Here's a basic overdrive. Again, you've got to get the level settings right, both input and output. This is a bass tube screamer. Nice response on the muted bits there. And of course you can adjust that drive to taste, but you've got to be very careful and conservative about it. Obviously it's a little bit out of control there. Close face. Fuzz pie. It's a very drowning sort of a fuzz, that one. You won't get any detail in your playing. But of course if that wall of sound is what you're after, then fuzz pie is definitely a good start. Octave fuzz. Again, find that balance. So we run through several more drive sounds and move on to the compressors. There are several of those to choose from as well. Blue, red, and Veta. Auto wah. Dingotron, this is weird. Just sounds like a high pass filter to me, but I think if you associate that with the expression pedal you might get better results there. Buzz wave. Yeah, I'm getting nothing out of that. Seismic synth, on the other hand. Again, it's something that's got to be balanced with your signal, but if you're looking for those classic Tony Levin sorts of sounds, then that would be a good place to start. This is resonant synth. It has a sort of an oscillating response. Saturn V ring modulator. Again, some very strange responses there. Experimental, of course. Not designed to be your staple sound. This one is Synth Analog. Synth effects. Alright, the response I'm getting out of that seems to have little resemblance to the actual notes I'm playing. And volumes jumping all over the place as well. This one does have several different waveforms though. I'm not really sure how you'd apply any of those. Let's move on. Synth harmony. Synth lead. Synth string. Beautiful. So from an experimental point of view, it's pretty out there. Me personally, I think I'd just stick to the overdrives and the fuzz sounds in certain situations, but I've recorded some things in high definition for you, and here they are. Okay, so that pretty much covers the sound, although being a Line 6 product, of course, it is very extensive, very shapeable, very adaptable to your equipment too, so don't take this review as a be-all and end-all of the kinds of sounds it can produce. It goes a lot deeper. If I tried to show you all of it, I would be here all day. But as is the way of GearFacts reviews, I'm going to hop around the back now and show you what kind of DI we've got. Sorry, when I said DI, I meant I/O, as in in-out sockets. Although there is a DI, as in digital interface, and I'll show you that in a moment. But anyway, there's a socket for our second expression pedal. Over here you've got a selectable input socket here, so use that selector switch depending on how much power you're pumping into it. Auxiliary input there. Then we have left and right out, and this is quite important because, as you can see, this paired output has its own level control with a line amp switch just above it there. So easy to forget it's there when it's just around the back of your device, but don't forget about that one because, like I said, it's all about balance, and it is important to get that balance just right. There's the headphone socket over here, MIDI in and out. Variac socket there if you've got a Line 6 guitar. There's our digital I/O in the form of a USB socket. You can also store and upload patches as well. On-off switch and power in. Thanks for watching my review, guys, and for tuning into GearFacts yet again. I'm not really going to pass judgment on the bass Pod XT Live because, for a start, I'm not a bass player, as you probably gathered from my dodgy bass lines there. But also, I think it's something that you kind of have to get married to when you buy it. You need to work with it. You need to get counseling occasionally, but yeah, you need to really understand this unit, get those balances right, and I think it will really reward you. So that's the Bass Pod XT Live, very much continuing in Line 6's top quality tradition. Thanks for liking, commenting, or subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you at the next GearFacts, or on the next GearFacts video. Have a great day, guys!